Israel deprives us of the means to achieve security and sustain economic growth, generating a man-made humanitarian crisis, and at the same time, it impedes the relief efforts to address it, inflicting an unimaginable human suffering on our people. It confiscates our land, forcibly displaces our people, builds illegal settlements, and steals our resources, including our tax revenues, in total disregard for international law. To maintain these coercive conditions, Israel targets those who heal, feed, and rescue with incitement and military attacks, inventing baseless pretexts and lies to justify its illegal actions. It attacks our hospitals in Gaza and in Jenin. It targets humanitarian personnel in Jerusalem and in Deir el-Balah. It denies their entry visas. It detains, tortures, and kills them. Israeli officials smear humanitarian organization and workers day and night. Its soldiers and settlers act accordingly. The Israeli military killed World Central Kitchen staff in Gaza, and Israeli settlers set fire to UNRWA's headquarters in Jerusalem, putting the lives of UN staff, national and international, at a serious risk. Israeli soldiers, disguised as medical personnel, shot dead three injured Palestinians in a hospital in Jenin, turning the hospital into a battlefield, and armed Israeli settlers vandalized agricultural land and water wells in Salfit, in grave breach of the Geneva Conventions, leaving no place safe in the West Bank. In Gaza, Israel massacres our people and bombs civilian infrastructure, shuts down crossing points, puts in place arbitrary inspection and delays, deliberately impedes the entry of humanitarian aid, limits humanitarian access and space by relentless bombardments and inexistent deconfliction mechanisms, and it lets its settlers vandalize and block aid trucks, all for the purpose of starving Palestinian civilians, including children, using hunger as a weapon of war. The unprecedented numbers of fatalities among protected persons under the Geneva Convention, including civilians and humanitarian personnel in Gaza, is not a number that reflects so-called collateral damage or an undesired result of war, but rather deliberate and indiscriminate targeting, including by using highly explosive weapons in populated areas and attacking UN and humanitarian facilities. Israel must be held accountable for these grave violations and atrocities. Israel's genocide and deliberate famine in Gaza must end immediately, in line with UN resolutions and the ICJ provisional orders. We demand enforcing a ceasefire in Gaza.